Hoka pretty much invented the max cushion genre, and its thick boy flagship is the Bondi. For version 8, they're going with a new foam and a reshaped footprint. But have they changed enough to keep up with the rest of the market? It's time to lace up the Bondi 8 and take it for a run. About 13.1 miles today and about 9 minutes and 40 something seconds per mile for the run. I don't have the exact numbers for the entire activity because I had a couple of user error moments with this watch that I've been testing. But overall, I had a fantastic time out there getting in a long run in the Hoka Bondi 8. Now, before I give you my thoughts on this shoe, I do want to go over some disclosures. This is a pair of shoes that Hoka sent me for the purpose of review, so I didn't have to pay for these shoes, but no one's paying me to make this video or to wear the shoe, and no one's going to get a chance to preview any of my footage or my thoughts before you guys get a chance to see this video on YouTube. So with those disclosures out of the way, let's talk about the Hoka Bondi 8. First, let's go over some specs on this shoe. It's a max cushion shoe, so everything is going to be in the plush and comfy kind of range in terms of the specs. We've got memory foam in the heel. We've got ortholite, so everything just screams comfort. The tongue is extra padded and puffy. In terms of the midsole foam, we've got an updated foam from Hoka. They don't usually specify exactly what their foams are, but this new foam is, I think, an EVA type of blend, but it is different than the EVA that's been in the Bondi in previous years. This year it's also lighter and softer, so it's giving you a little bit more squish. So they're giving you more foam, but they're also making it lighter, at least in terms of the foam. Overall, the weight comes in on this shoe, at least at a size 9, at a stated weight of 10.8 ounces, which is actually 0.1 ounces heavier than it was last year. But I think we are getting a little bit more foam in this shoe. And that's because I think they changed kind of like the shape of this shoe. It's a lot wider here in the forefoot, like across like the pads of the feet. So you're getting a little bit more stability in terms of the landing area and where you're pushing off from. One of the other changes is that it's a little bit more scalloped as you come through the midfoot, like right underneath the arch here. And I think that's really helpful. It helps the shoe to feel less clunky. It helps kind of bend and roll a little bit more easily through the gait cycle, and just makes it a more runnable shoe. So there's a little bit of a kind of pinch in here, but you're not losing any of the stability in terms of the wide forefoot and the wide big crash pad in the heel. In terms of that crash pad, you could see that the way that this foam is kind of sculpted in this wavy design, it gives you a big landing pad in the area here. If you're a heel striker, or maybe you're more tired later in the run and you're hitting further back, it compresses a lot in the heel and then helps you roll forward and squish that foam as your foot is hitting the ground, absorbing all that impact, and then you can push off for that next foot strike. So those are the specs on the shoe. Let's talk about what it was like to run in the Bondi 8. I actually have the Bondi 8 in a couple of sizes, and I've gone on a variety of runs in each of those sizes to kind of round out a little bit more thorough testing. My first run in the shoe was back at my in-laws' place. I ran out to the Field of Dreams and back on that run, which was a 16-mile run on dirt roads and pavement as well. And then I also had the 13 miles today. So that's about 3 runs in the Bondi 8 in a size bigger than I normally have, the 9.5. I also took it out for a regular everyday run in the Bondi size 9, which is my typical running shoe size. And so all of those runs, I pretty much focused on longer runs or easy runs or recovery runs, kind of in that kind of low and slow category. And I think that's where this shoe is designed for, and it absolutely excels. It's super comfortable when your feet are tired, when your feet are beat up. It gives you all the comfort that you really want to have on those days where the point of the run is either to get in a bunch of miles and work on that aerobic base, and or get the blood flowing from the previous day's workout. I had a workout yesterday, so today I really wanted to be on feet for a little bit of time, but also make sure I got everything moving so that way I could flush the system and get everything ready for the next workout, which I think is going to be tomorrow. This shoe is fantastic for all those types of run. It's comfortable, it's squishy, it absorbs the impact, but it helps keep things rolling nice and smooth, so that way you don't really have to worry about any of the wear and tear on your body. The shoes take all of that for you. I will say that the shoe is a little bit on the warm side. It's summertime right now here in the Midwest, and that memory foam that's in the heel, that's kind of all over back here, nice and comfortable. So if you are planning on using this for like casual use, or if your job requires you to stand around on your feet a lot of the time, this is going to be great. But for me in summer running, like all this padding is just a lot of heat and a big sweat sponge for me. So I don't love thick cushioned plush shoes, but if you're looking for ultimate comfort, it certainly is very comfortable. And that Ortholite, which is kind of basically like memory foam that you can kind of stand on, the Ortholite is also super comfortable as well. So they've got the comfort taken care of in the upper, like in this part of the shoe. Now, in terms of the sizing, I did go with a half size up, and that's because typically I feel like for what the Bondi is, it always fits a little bit more snug than I feel like it should. So this year I got it in both sizes, 9.5 and my usual size 9. The size 9 was fine, but kind of fits the same as the Bondis tend to fit, a little bit more snug than I feel like they should. The size 9.5, I actually found myself really enjoying. Typically, I really dislike sizing up because I feel like while it gives you a little bit more room in the shoe, it just gives you too much shoe and it makes exciting shoes boring, and easy day shoes feel clunky. And so this is more of an easy day shoe, but at that half size up, it didn't feel clunky at all. I appreciated the extra room, and I still felt like with the extra foam in here and the new foam that they're using, I felt like it was a really great combo. And I'm actually going to recommend for a lot of people, if you're looking at this shoe for those recovery runs and those long runs, go up half a size. I think you're going to appreciate that little bit of extra comfort for this comfort oriented shoe. I will say that it's not exactly a speed shoe. Now, I did go out to San Luis Obispo. I got to get on the track with Connor. He paced me through a workout, and he ran a workout of mile repeats at threshold pace and then a set of 6 200s at my mile race pace. And for him, he's a lot faster than I am, so doing those 200-meter repeats in Bondis wasn't a problem. It wouldn't be ideal for me. I really wouldn't like it if I was trying to hit a specific time. Now, today on this run, I did have a set of 8 strides within the run, which is basically like 15 seconds on, 45 seconds off, and just keep doing that 8 times, where I'm running kind of like the idea is to do it about mile race pace, but basically just try to get the legs turned over really quick. It's more about getting that mechanical work in rather than trying to hit a specific pace. And for something like that, I felt like the Bondi actually did surprisingly well, but it's not going to be the speediest shoe in your arsenal. So if it was like a speed workout, it's not really something that I would reach for. But if like 95% of your run is an easy run, and then that little tiny bit is just for a couple of strides, this is going to be just fine for that. So I think that the Bondi 8 is a definite improvement over the Bondi 7, especially if you do size up by that half size. It gives you just a little bit more wiggle room literally in the toes, and you're still getting a nice comfortable rolling smooth push off that's going to help insulate you from the impact and the wear and tear of those longer miles. But the big question is this enough to really help the Bondi keep up with some of the newcomers in this max cushion thick boy space? This year for Hoka is a year of convergence. We're seeing the combination or the merging of the Speedgoat 4 and the Evo Speedgoat. They're combining into the Speedgoat 5. And then we had the Bondi 7 and then the Bondi X last year as well. And those are combining into the Bondi 8. As far as I know, there isn't going to be an update to the Bondi X. And I think that the Bondi 8 kind of like combines like kind of the best of the both of the Bondis that came out last year. But whether it's enough to make it the Max Cushion King, I'm not yet convinced. The New Balance Fresh Foam More version 4 is still out there on the horizon. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but that's one that I think is going to give this shoe a run for the money. But in the meantime, if you are a big fan of the Bondi line, I think that you're going to be very happy with the way that Hoka has been treating this franchise. It's definitely an improvement that I think is going to help keep both the Bondi faithful and new people looking for that all-day stand around and long run comfort happy. So those are my thoughts on the Bondi 8. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions, or better yet, stop by the live stream that I do Monday through Friday right here on YouTube. I'd love to talk to you guys in the chat. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I will see you in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?